Hashem is consistent. We see, as an example, in every cell in our body, there is a particular DNA code. What is this code? It's not really just telling us the information about what's the shape of my nose or the shape of my face or the color of the hair or the hair that used to be. Anyway, it's all information that is encoded in there for the purpose of the body actually growing according to that blueprint. In other words, if I made the statement that all this information is in the DNA, it's a good statement, but a better statement is the body is actually growing according to this blueprint, this computer code, if you want, that's called DNA. Well, I have a big surprise for you. The Torah is the genetic code for the entire universe. The Torah is, letter for letter, exactly what is happening in the universe and what. But if I said to you that all the information is in the Torah, that's good. But a better one is, it is happening because it is in the Torah. In other words, it is the script for the entire history, for the entire makeup, the infrastructure of the universe itself, and every one of us. So if something doesn't happen, it's not in the Torah. But if something is in the Torah, it has to happen. It comes together. It's pretty definite, that's for sure. I want to get a little bit more detailed as to what we're talking about in the way of exactness. There is no name in the Torah, as an example, that doesn't mean something. Hashem just didn't make up names. He didn't come up with, this guy looks like a Avraham. Well, let's call him Avraham. Avraham itself means the father of many. It's Hebrew for the father of many. Yitzhak, actually, this is an interesting situation because it really means one who makes me laugh. I'm not too sure why, but anyway, it does. Yaakov comes from the root of the word ekev, which means heel. Heel? What's that have to do with anything? Well, we're told that Yaakov is actually grabbing onto the heel of his brother Esav when he came out. They're twins, and Yaakov was holding on to Esav as he came out by the heel, and for some strange reason Hashem decided, let's call him Yaakov. So all these things are very important because there is no such thing as just a made-up name. We are even told that when Adam was in the garden and Hashem said to him, I would like you to name all the animals. He didn't name the animals according to just, I'll just pick up, we'll call this one elephant, we'll call this one tiger, No, each one is exact according to the letters. It actually makes up that particular animal, those letters. It's very weird, but even every word in the Torah, which we're not talking Hebrew, we're talking something called Lashon HaKodesh, the Holy Tongue. Modern Hebrew is a little bit different and doesn't follow these exact rules. But if I said to you any word that's in the Torah, that word is made up of the actual letters that describe it. Give you an example. If I said to you, I speak, Ani medaber is how we would say that in Hebrew. Medaber is actually made up of 4 different letters. You have a mem, a dalet, a bet, and a resh. Those 4 letters, each letter has multiple meanings to it. So if I said to you, a mem usually means from. Dalet is like delet, which means door. Bet means in. And resh is like rosh, which means head. So we come out with the door in the head. Speech. I speak from the door in the head. Now, that sounds kind of ominous that all that information is in that one word, but yet that's how words are made up. It sounds once again impossible, but coming from an infinite source of intelligence, it's a definite. Even the numerical value, you will find that any word in the Torah that's related to another word in the Torah, they have the same numerical value, the same gematria. We know that there's 613 commandments in the Torah. So what's the word in the Torah? Torah just happens to have a numerology or a gematria of 613. So there's no coincidence, there's no by accident. Everything here is definite. The Torah is exact. It is also completely different from any language in the world. Let's take English, for instance. Please take it. Anyway, English is a living language. If we got all the English speakers in the world together in one room, that probably wouldn't happen. But anyway, if we got all the English speakers together and we made a decision that from this day on, we're going to call this thing a chair, and we're going to call this thing that I'm sitting on here a shirt. We could do that. We can change it completely. We have to change all the dictionaries, of course. But we can change it because it's a living language. You can't do that in Hebrew. Just because every word is completely made up of the letters that is describing it. Let me correct that. Not Hebrew, but Lashon HaKodesh, the Holy Tongue. In Hebrew, modern Hebrew, you have variations and you have the same sort of thing that you have in any other language, that you can make up new words. And by the way, do you like the chair that I'm wearing today? This is a very comfortable shirt I'm sitting on. Let's forget about that one. Let me give you some examples of information that's encoded in the Torah that lets you know how exact it really is, and the fact that what we read isn't exactly the hidden meaning that Hashem is giving to us. In the Akedah, where Abraham was told to take his son and bring him up to the altar, his son Yitzhak, we have a situation where they got everything together, they went to the mountain, and Eliezer and Ishmael were at the bottom of the mountain with Abraham and Yitzhak, and Abraham says to the two, "You stay here with the donkey, and me and the lad are going to go up the mountain." Wait a minute, with the donkey? I thought there were no wasted words in the Torah. What does it mean, with the donkey? Interestingly enough, and I mentioned this already, if you change the vowels underneath, you get a completely different meaning. So if you read it, im hachamor, which is with the donkey, that sounds all right. But if the same exact letters, just changing the kudos underneath, the vowels underneath, and come out with am hachomer, now all of a sudden it says the nation of materialism. Now what's this mean? Abraham is sending a very deep message saying, you stay here, not with the donkey, you stay here because you are the materialistic people. You're the nation of materialism. And me and the lad will go forward because we're the spiritual people. We're the ones who are going to be with Hashem. It's a very, very deep message that just comes from two words, but it's not how we read it in the Torah. You have to know the deeper meaning when you're seeing this. When I talk about the idea of studying Torah and getting deeper and deeper and all that, these hidden messages, which are infinite, the actual number of messages that are there is absolutely no way that you can, in a lifetime, really study and catch out all the hidden messages that exist. I'll give you one that you're probably familiar with, an eye for an eye. Here it tells us If somebody would poke out my eye, chas v'sholom, oh, that's terrible, that I have the opportunity to poke out his eye? Is that what it's telling me? No, that's not what it's telling me. Because if you read in Hebrew exactly what it says ayin tachat ayin. What does tachat mean? Does that mean for an eye? No, it says under, beneath the word tachat. And that's a little bit weird, because what is it telling me? It's sort of a hidden message here. It's telling me that if the word ayin, 3 letters, which is in the Torah, if you go down in the alphabet, 1 letter beneath, 1 letter in the alphabet, you come up with 3 letters that actually is kesef, which means money. So it is actually hinting in there to the fact that I can get monetary compensation for somebody poking my eye out. And that's, of course, what the law really says, that I can sue somebody and say, yeah, he took this eye out, and as a result, I have to use this one alone. But anyway, that's the message. But it's so hidden as to what it's saying, and when we see something like an eye for an eye, we think to myself, is that really giving us good information about what the Torah is telling us? Not really. Let me give you one more example, because if I give you every example that I've ever come across, which I have many, many books on here, I think you would find that this video would go on for 10 hours, and I'm not interested in that because I have other things to do. Anyway, the place in Akev where Hashem is telling Moshe, this land that I'm giving to you is not because of your righteousness, it's because of their wickedness. So that's an interesting message, but it's not just telling Moshe that, it's telling us too, that we only deserve this land. It's not because of our righteousness, but because also that they're so wicked, they don't deserve the land. So Hashem wanted the land for us. That particular little verse ends off, or that paragraph ends off with the famous words, you are a stiff-necked people. And if you looked at that particular pasuk, I'm not going to go, or verse, I'm not going to go into it in Hebrew, and you push the letters together and take out and put new spaces in there, you actually can see the word Arafat. Arafat's name is right there. So that means Moshe Rabbeinu was told 3,328 years ago, give or take a week, that this guy Arafat would actually be in the future, in the end of days, and he would be part of the wickedness that would cause us to lose the land. Very interesting. I think that's probably enough for today. I just really wanted to get across examples of why we say that the Torah there's nothing random. There's nothing accidental. Everything is 100%, and it's as exact as can be. Tomorrow I want to get into a different little phase of this, but specifically bring up some words, some names that are in the Torah, and get very, very specific with it, because it's something that has come up recently and has been very misunderstood as to exactly what it's talking about. Today was just a preparation for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the more exciting information that I want to get across to you. In fact, I'm so excited I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. Anyway, so have a good day, and we'll see back here tomorrow again.